Curt, in North Carolina, our governor has been real aggressive establishing an e-learning portal. We have Dr. Bill Randall today, who's been really instrumental in doing an online learning objects repository. And I'm curious your take on repositories that are rated, repositories that are vetted, because I think the challenge of tomorrow's world is going to be not that the content's there, but how do we know the content's quality? How do we know it's applied in the right context? In your book, you talk a lot about how we provide access to things and also different folks who rate that content or make it value add. Can you tell our book study listeners, if you would, about what concerns they shouldn't have about rated content and maybe what concerns they should?
Yeah, and you should really become aware of what's out there. I mean, when people look at Wikispecies and see it's a crowdsourced website like Wikipedia, they frown at it sometimes. Well, they might look at the Encyclopedia of Life, which is indexing 2.7 million species with peer experts wrapped around it and millions of dollars to do quality contents. When we look at 53 trillion pages of content and we say, you know, of those 53 trillion pages, maybe 0.001% is high quality educational material that we can use. That's still more than most people are going to be able to read, access, and enjoy throughout their lifespans. So what we need to do, I think, as educators, especially I think in the K-12 space, is find these high-quality websites like the United Nations Digital Library, like the Encyclopedia of the Species, like the Civil Rights Digital Library, right? We need to find opening the page or turning the pages website from the British Library, which actually scanned in all sorts of rich documents from Da Vinci and Mozart and others and have audio wrapped around it. I mean, there are the Museum of Online Museums, the digital museums of the world on the web. You know, there's a lot we can find and look to and say, hey, this is not so good. But do we need that many that we find that we can get excited about, use, embed, that are of a high standard? So one is you might create some internal standard board within your district to look at these websites that I've been mentioning here, and you might have the pre-approved or pre-stamped from your district, or maybe the state of North Carolina will do something like the state of Kentucky, where I was recently, which has, you know, the learning portal, the Kentucky Learning Portal, or Learning Depot, and indexing the rich quality contents that they have found, be it pictures, be it videos that are, you know, could be coming from public television within the state that have been loaded to the web. I mean, video. I mean, if there's any place that we should be really excited about now in 2010, besides the emergence of e-books, is this emergence of video. Because shared online video resources pretty much cover the wide gamut. Now, how can we wrap around interesting, engaging pedagogical activities around that so it's not just talking heads? So we get kids pausing, reflecting conceptually on what they're learning from that video. Having kids find the video and show what they found that relate back to class, right? Having kids produce videos, in fact, that might link various resources together. So I think if I was one really exploring this fifth opener, I'd look at Merlot if I'm in the corporate space, in a higher ed space, and I'd look at Connections if I was K-12 or higher ed, Curriki if I was in the K-12 space, and some others, but you know, in the Learning Portal at North Carolina. But I think about how do we rate that? You know, what kind of indexes are we going to be putting on here, and how do we compile and make sense of what's available in history and math and science? Take the MIT highlights for high school. I mean, MIT stuff's on the web. They've repurposed it for K-12 advanced placement. So don't think that all the stuff that's up there for higher ed is only higher ed. And by the way, most K-12 teachers are open when I go around. They'll take some stuff and repurpose it and rethink it. That's what's nice about working with K-12 teachers and staff and administrators. So this is an exciting one, especially with the rich shared online video, linked television, in 4Ed TV, in YouTube, YouTube EDU, TeacherTube, at SchoolTube, you name it. There are Current TV, Al Gore's network. There's Explore TV, Explode TV. So much out there.